Hey everyone, it's Christine at Zeidman Development, and today's video is how to walk through an import when you're not adjusting your template. So many of our videos are talking about building your template, but the reality is we know that once your template is built, your import process may not even involve opening that template. So today's process walks through using an import without opening a template. Now, you can do this with any of our data sources, but just for the sake of choosing something, I'm going to work with a file. And then I'm going to click Start, and I'm going to select my file. So I'm working with my sample data file. And because it's an XLSX, I do need to select my tab. I am working with the basic tab. So I'm going to click Retrieve Data. That's just going to load that data, and it'll show me a summary of what I have, what I'm using. And then I can select my template from the dropdown. So we're going to work with our basic template to go with our basic tab. We're going to select a file location for our control report. So I'm going to save it to my desktop. And I'm going to call this my control test basic. As always, I recommend you make a new control report every time you import. I'm not going to use the only process the first few because I want to import everything. I can create a query of Raiser's Edge new and updated constituents. If you're new to importing or think you may have some data you need to double check, I would recommend that you do that. You can also create a query of exceptions. That's only going to be a query of records that are existing in Raiser's Edge that have exceptions. So if you need either of those, go ahead and check it. And then you click Continue to match your data from your import source to the Raiser's Edge with Importacular. And once you do that, then you're going to see your template here, not your template, I'm sorry, your review screen here, where you can actually review what's coming into the Raiser's Edge, as well as what is already in the Raiser's Edge. So we can see here, all of my records are existing in the Raiser's Edge. We can see down below, we were on James Bond's row. We can see James Bond's account. We can review that, see if there's anything we need to fix. We can walk through these tabs if we need to review this information to make sure that everything is as it should be. You can even look at the different mappings. So on the address tab, for example, we can walk through our tabs. So we have an address, we have an address to, we have an email address, and we have a phone number. So we can look at all of our different data. For fields that are text-based, we can actually type in the box and make a change. So let's say this should be North Street Southwest. We can type in that box. Now we cannot type in a code table, but we can anything that's text-based. And then we can also look at our gift information here. So what tabs you have at the top will change depending on what data destinations you have, as well as what data destinations you're using in this import. Now, if you think for any reason that any of these matches are incorrect, you can always change them. You can use the Find Matched Constituents at the bottom. So let's say I don't think that this is the right Edward Cullen. I can click on Find in Raiser's Edge, and I can search to see if there's another Edward Cullen record in the system. Once you've finished reviewing this, I would recommend that you validate every time. So we click Validate. We can see a summary of what our data looks like. You can look at that control report, and after you validated, you can uncheck the Validate Data Only box, and you can click Import to import that data. I hope that this has been helpful for you in figuring out what you need to do in order to import without having to look at your template. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a great day.